Hey, I was lost in the music there. Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. I'm here in Spain. It is 8:37. A little bit late with the live. I've had a big run around to get ready, to have a bit of breakfast, make a coffee, because this morning I have got exciting news to tell you. And I know it's quite early for some of you in some parts of the world, but people can catch up on this as they get up. They'll be waking up to this breaking news. So I'm going to light the candle. The candle I'm lighting this morning is for Samantha and her family, of course, and the prayer that it looks like maybe Samantha finally will be being brought home. There's been developments finally, after what feels like months of silence. We've tried to keep this story alive. I've tried to keep it alive and talk about it whenever possible, but there's not been any news. As there for ages, there's not been any news. So this is the candle for Samantha. Let's hope it's looking promising. I think we've got some Australians. At what time is it in Australia at the moment? It's probably late afternoon, is it? Or something like that. So there's still time. I don't think there'll be a press conference today, though maybe, but definitely sort of tonight, if you like, tonight in Spanish time, or in the morning in Australian time, there may be a press conference. And I will definitely, so it's 4:38 in Melbourne, Kelly's saying. So, yeah, almost 5 p.m. So I doubt if there'll be a press conference today, but possibly in the morning, because there's been significant fines in the Samantha Murphy case. Now, let me just take that banner thing off. So I got up this morning, not really, every morning I always look for news of Samantha, in all the cases that we follow. And I was thinking about it, it's ironic, isn't it? Because in Samantha's case, the murderer has been caught and charged already, the alleged murderer. But of course, the body has not been found. Her body has not been brought home to her family so they can lay her to rest, in a respectful manner. And then Rachel Marin, another case that we're covering, of the woman that was, murdered on a nature trail in Maryland in the USA. They have her body and she's been given a burial, but the murderer's still at large. I don't know what's worse, because the comfort of, the cold comfort of at least having your loved one back, that you can say goodbye to them properly instead of thinking of them just, out in the bush somewhere and, with animals and God knows what. That's a comfort. But then the murderer of Rachel Marin is still running about, free somewhere. Whereas at least in this case, the alleged murderer of Samantha has been caught. So just before I say hello to everyone, I just want to give a brief update, because I always have to remember that sometimes there's always new people watching my videos. I can't assume people know the story or even know who I am, because sometimes new people come on. And I'm Vicky. This is Vicky Marie Chats. We talk about mainly true crime, but all sorts of things that we talk about. We follow cases through to the end. When we start with a case, this case of Samantha Murphy, it was February, was it February the 4th, I think, when Samantha Murphy disappeared. And to cut very, very long story short, after, a lot of searching for her and a lot of silences and then sort of various things said by the police, a young man, a 22-year-old man, son of an NFL player in Australia, Patrick Stevenson, was arrested and charged with Samantha Murphy's murder. But ever since then, the challenge for the police has been to find her body, because this young lad, he's not cooperating. You won't tell them where her remains are. They haven't been able to find her phone. They had a lot of information, from the cloud, and she was wearing an Apple Watch. But they hadn't actually found her phone or anything. In fact, no trace of it, really. So there's been sort of spotlighted searches, but it's been ages since the last one. Ages and ages. A month at least, I'd say. So it's all gone very quiet. Anyway, now suddenly there's been a new search and significant items have been found. So we're praying that Samantha will be brought home. So that is, I've got playlist. If you want to know more about Samantha's case, if you don't know, have a look on my channel at the playlist. Right from the beginning, from when Samantha very first went missing. There are videos that you can follow this case. So let me say hello to everyone before I share all. Now, I've got to say that this is new news for me as well. I've got up this morning, done my usual sort of, I have a, I get up in the morning, I put the computer on, and I have a system to what I do. And the first thing I normally do each morning, I check my emails. And I had an email from a lady in Australia, a subscriber, who always sends me any news of Samantha or any case in Australia, saying about this new search. So I thought, oh, that's good. So I was going to come on later and do a live because I've got some classes this morning. But after the class is finished, I've got a few hours, and I thought, oh, I'm going to go on and tell everybody about that there's going to be a new search. And then when I put in a search, like for Samantha Murphy new search, it was coming up about, a phone had been found. And I don't know, there may even be other things, because that's literally then where I sort of dropped everything and started preparing this live. And I thought, no, I've got to go live as soon as possible, because this is breaking news. This is important news. All my subscribers are interested in Samantha's case. We've been we've been following it since February, and it's important that people get to know what's happening. So the news that I'm going to share with you, a lot of it is new to me, if you like, because a lot of it is completely new to me. So I'm just following it as I go along, because I watched a little bit of it, just enough to establish that they'd found the phone. And then I had to get dressed and have a bit of breakfast and make a coffee. This is my second coffee, so I'm just coming round. So anyway, so those of you that are interested, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for caring about Samantha. I felt so sort of excited. It's a very weird feeling, isn't it? Because it was a lovely feeling that she was going to be brought home to her family. But of course, it's sad because, Samantha is deceased at the end of the day. So it's a very cold comfort. But it's something I expect that's how but my first sort of thing was, oh, that's great, and then you sort of think, yeah, but unfortunately she is deceased. But still, it's comfort, even if it's cold comfort. It's better than thinking of her never being found. Now, she hasn't been found yet, but items have been found. Anyway, let me say hello to everyone. Hi, Katrine. Hi, Kelly. Hi, David. Oh, David's up early because it's early in the UK. Hi, Tracy. Tracy too. So anyone watching from the UK, you're up quite early, aren't you? Hi, Julie. Oh, and hi, Maria. So, of course, yeah, it's afternoon for Maria because she's in Australia. I just wanted to say thank you to all of you that watched my live last night about Peter Folding, etc. I didn't get a chance to say hello to everyone in that. There was just too many people, but thank you for watching. Rabbit Man, hi. Oh, was my dog behind me? I didn't see him. Oh, I didn't even see him jump up. Yeah, he likes to get in this chair sometimes. That would have been Rocky, I think. Okay, so let's have a look. So the first thing I want to show you is this video from the news. Seemingly showing her phone being found. Police appear to find the phone in the search for Samantha Murphy, and this was on the ABC News. So let's have a look. I just think the police must feel fantastic because, it must be very dispiriting, all these searches, and then people complain, they say, oh, they can't even find her, blah, blah, blah. Everybody whinging about it. But we watched, didn't we? Ninja 2 Hours sent me, some examples of what the terrain is like that they're looking at. It's difficult. It's not like a tiny little area. They're searching huge, massive areas where you could easily miss a little thing like a phone. The phone's not exactly a massive, it's not got a beacon on it and a flare goes off to tell you the phone's there. They've got to find it, in the Apple. These are tiny things in massive expanses of terrain. And so when the police found this phone, you'll see they look very, very happy and, so they should be.
A short time ago, they appeared to find what looks like a phone on the banks of a dam, which could represent a major breakthrough in the case. Police so far have been unable to find Samantha Murphy's phone. A short time.
Yeah, so here they are actually finding the phone. Now, this dam, a few of my chatters, a few of you chatterati out there in comments have mentioned, I don't know if it was about this dam or I've mentioned about dams, as I say, I don't know the area brilliantly well. In fact, I don't know it at all. So I don't know. I think it's in Ballarat. I don't think it's far from where Samantha supposedly went missing. But yeah, you can see the phone. You can see the phone, can't you?
After the item is found, crews are called over and there appears to be some celebration, hugging, shaking of hands, pats on backs. Up until now, it has been an item that police have been really scouring the area for. We haven't had an official update from police, but since then an evidence marker has been put down.
Dude, it's really making me emotional because look, them hugging each other and everything. It must be fantastic when they finally get a result after all that time of getting nowhere.
Down, and police appear to be using a metal detector around the water.
Okay, and then can you just take us back through how long police have been searching for Samantha Murphy?
It has been quite a serious and long amount of time. The missing 51-year-old mother of three was last seen at her Ballarat East home back in February.
Now, that water, I've just gone right off water since covering all these cases, Nicola Bully. Looking at that water, it makes me feel just got cold inside. Is she in the water? And why is the phone not in the water? Or maybe the phone was thrown in the water and as, I don't know, if the dam has receded or who knows how it's got left on the shore there or it's got washed up. This is the thing about evidence. It tends to come back. People think they've dealt with, got rid of things and they get these bright ideas about what to do with their bodies or what to do with evidence. But especially when people are rushing to get rid of things, they can come back to bite them. So it looks quite dry there, doesn't it, on the outskirts of the dam. So is that what's happened? Has there been not much rain? So it's, gone down a bit and the phone's ended up just getting left there? Was it thrown in the water and now it's come up?
And she vanished after going for a run. Now, police are alleging that she was killed on the day that she vanished, and it was done in a, quote, deliberate act in the suburb of Mount Clear. Now, 22...
Yeah, so it's important to remember that. That's what the police, after saying for quite a long time that there was no suspicious circumstances, then they said it did seem suspicious. Then they said, they believed that Samantha was deceased. And then suddenly they just said she's been murdered. We believe she's been murdered, a deliberate act. And then they arrested this young lad for the murder. And it sort of happened slowly but quickly, if that makes sense, because it felt like there'd be an announcement, then a week or a couple of weeks of silence, then another announcement, then and it all sort of snowballed like that and culminated with Patrick being arrested. But since then, because he's not been cooperating, it's all been about finding Samantha's body. And that's been a little bit more difficult, hasn't it? A lot more difficult. So, hi, Barbara. Hi, Rini. I hope you're well. Hope all the family's good. I hope I haven't missed anyone else coming in. Don't think I have. And hello to everyone who's watching at home, because I know not everybody, the chat's not for everyone. And hello to the replay crew, because there'll be a lot of people probably watching this later. A lot of people have been invested in this case from all over the world. It's one of those cases that's grabbed in. I think these cases that grab international attention, because of course, people go missing all the time, don't they? I think it's when they're doing ordinary things, like, Samantha went for a run around, around the state forest where it's safe, that she's done for years. There's no reason why she shouldn't have been safe in that forest. And the same, with Nicola Bulley, taking her dogs for a walk at a place, something she'd done every day for maybe 9 years. So I think it's the mystery of these cases that attracts attention. Also, they talk about this white woman syndrome, the missing white women. Maybe there's something in that, but there's lots of other missing white women that go missing that don't get the same attention. Personally, I think it's the circumstances around them and the very ordinariness. People can relate with this, going for a jog. Well, not me, I can't relate with it, but going for a walk, certainly on a Sunday morning. Just saying ta-ra to your family, bye, see you in an hour, or whenever. She had a brunch planned that morning with the family, just the most normal thing on a Sunday morning to do, and then that's it, just disappearing. And then I think now, of course, the fact that this Patrick Murphy, so young, that's still, I know he's a man, and I know I shouldn't think like that, but I just can't help it. I just think, my God, that evil in someone at that age, what he must have been, and he had a girlfriend. He had what seemed like a normal, he was a tradie. He seemed to come from a good family. His father's this sort of ex-NFL player. There didn't seem to be any red flags. So that as well makes it, there doesn't seem to have been any mental health issues. He had no personal connection with her. From what we know, his trial is in August. We'll find out more details then.
Year-old Patrick Stevenson has been charged with her murder. He's the son of former AFL footballer Oren Stevenson. He's in custody at the moment. He hasn't had to enter a plea to the murder charge and will return to court in August.
Yeah, so he hasn't actually given a plea. He hasn't pled guilty or not guilty, nothing yet. Now, why has he not been he may cooperate more now that the phone's been found. He's probably not been cooperating because he's probably, until they actually find the body, I suppose they can't say for certain that she's been murdered. Hi, Wendy Woo. Who knows what Patrick's reasons are for not saying anything? Will he try for a plea bargain? Has he been waiting till the DNA on the body has deteriorated so much that it'd be difficult to prove cause of death? That makes it harder to press for a murder conviction. There's so many reasons why. Is he covering up somebody else? Some people think he is, though the police are now saying no, they don't think there's anybody else involved. But initially they did say they thought it was multiple persons involved. So, there's a lot to come out about this case, isn't there? Anyway, so now I just want to show you the first article that I was sent, and this is where I started off this morning with this article about the new search. So this was apparently announced sometime last night. Police have launched a fresh search for missing mum Samantha Murphy's remains and have deployed an excavator as part of their efforts. So that's a new development as well. Detectives from the Missing Persons Squad, together with a range of specialist resources, will today continue the search almost 4 months after she vanished during her morning run. 4 months is a long time. You know, she's been out there in the elements, bless her. And, you know, there's animals, there's decomposition. So it'd probably be skeletal remains they're looking for. Probably. It just depends where she's been, I suppose. Police are undertaking a targeted search in the Ballarat area today as part of the investigation into the disappearance of Samantha Murphy. So this is what started off with this morning. Somebody had sent me this article, and then of course then when I went into the internet and started looking further into it, there was more to it. So I don't know if that's the actual excavator that they're showing there, or that's just an example of an excavator. You've got the Missing Persons Squad. So it is near Buninyong, Ninja Chihuahua. So Daily Mail Australia understands the search is near Buninyong, where Miss Murphy's phone was last detected by mobile phone towers at 5 p.m. on the day she vanished. And that's something we knew, wasn't it, from before? That's something we knew, that her phone had last pinged in that area at around about 5 o'clock that evening. So I think that probably what the police did then, of course, they knew that, and then they will have seen who else's phones pinged in that same area. Maybe that's how they ended up sort of, how did Patrick get on their radar? Did somebody report him, or was it because his phone was in the vicinity when they started looking at everybody's phone pings? So the 51-year-old left her home in Ballarat, northwest of Melbourne, on February the 4th for a usual morning run, but never returned. So, of course, we watched the family's plea for information. Of course, her husband Mick was under suspicion himself in the beginning, which, you know, it's pretty common, isn't it? So, you know, it's normally the partner. It's not 90-odd% of the time it is the partner, not in this case though. But and then of course we watched him being interviewed as well, you know, talking about how it's affected his life, etc. You know, and his daughter Jess was interviewed. That was very emotional. It wasn't an interview. It was they did a press conference, didn't they? So police allege Miss Murphy was killed on the day she went missing in the Canadian State Forest, but no trace of her has been found. So this is probably data from the Apple Watch. They'll have seen like some sort of a spike in her heart rate, followed by nothing. That, I think that'll be what will have happened. And the Apple Watch, they haven't recovered yet, but they've obviously been able to recover her data. So he has not entered a plea still, and it's understood he has not cooperated with police, and questions still remain as to where her body could be. So, and also what's made everything, here he is, the absolute twonk with his girlfriend Meg. What's made it very complicated, of course, is since she disappeared in Ballarat, there's been heat waves, there's been bushfires and heavy rain. So, you know, over this 4 months, all the different weather conditions you can imagine they've had, you know, so that won't help. You know, he's Mr. Australian boy, isn't he? Just like, you know, quite tall, good looking, just like, you know, Mr. Good old boy sort of thing. And in his head, he's hiding some sort of secret. Maybe even then, maybe he's having ideation towards attacking a woman. You know, why did he just suddenly, has he done it before? You know, because there has been a woman attacked in that forest a year before, though I don't think the person who did it fitted his description. Of course, we've seen videos of him taking drugs, you know, being totally out of his head, which apparently the night before he was, you know, out and about with his mates, probably drunk, drugged up, you know. But was he driving when he saw Samantha? What was he doing there? She was on her run in the Mount Clear area, I think is where she was attacked. Was he there driving, or was he walking through the woods looking for someone to attack? These are all questions, that we're going to find out, hopefully, when it comes to the trial. Hi, Joanne. So wild animals, including foxes, are also known to have large populations in the area. And if left uncovered in the harsh bush, experts believe a body can quickly decompose, destroying important DNA evidence. So the time taken for a body to decompose depends on climatic conditions like temperature, moisture, as well as accessibility to insects. It's horrible, isn't it, to think about? That's why that's the double deviancy in him. To me, he's done a double offence. It's bad enough that he killed her. But then to sort of just leave her out there and, not let the family bring her home. Every day he's not told that family where their mother is, because she's got 3 children, one of which is really, her son is very young. He's under 10, I think. They're all were waiting for their mum to come home, all 3 of them, apart from her husband. So he should get an extra year for every day that he left that poor woman's body out in the brush. Makes me so angry. It's angry, you're angry for what he did in the first place. But even worse to me is this just leaving the family in torture. So in the summer, apparently a human body in an exposed location can be reduced to bones alone in just 9 days. Goodness. But of course, we don't know where her body is yet. But experts believe that if her body has been buried or dumped down one of Ballarat's many mine shafts, detectives could still be able to extract important evidence. So apparently a body that is buried 1.2 meters under the ground retains most of its tissue for a year. So we suppose we need to hope that maybe he did bury her as long as they find her. Last month, police brought in specialist cadaver dogs from New South Wales to scour the Victorian bush at multiple locations. Teams of officers, where have I gone? Multiple locations, I can't find where in dense scrub. Teams of officers focused their search within Enfield State Park, 30 kilometres south of Ballarat. But another search team was also working 25 kilometres away in thick scrub in the Durham Lead Conservation Rescue. And just weeks ago, Miss Murphy's long-suffering husband, Mick Murphy, told Channel 9 he had not stopped searching for her. On that particular day, I was outside and I thought she'd be coming up the road pretty soon, he said, and she didn't. Okay, so yeah, we just got a picture there of the dog searching. A little bit of a sort of plan of why did they say Murphy? Stop saying Murphy. Where Samantha lived on Eureka Street, Mount Clear. They think she jogged to Mount Clear, and they say that's the alleged murder scene. And this is the Enfield State Park right down here where they were searching before. And this is Bunyinyong, which is a lot closer to where Samantha lived and also to Mount Clear where she went missing. So Mr. Murphy said he searched daily either by driving through town or spending 2 hours walking through a pine plantation. Sometimes I go for a drive and it might not be anywhere particular, or I go for a walk for 2 hours. It varies every day. Yeah, that's what I'd be doing. I mean, you couldn't help but keep looking. But anyway, Missing Persons Unit Detective Acting Superintendent Mark Hatt, we might get to see him at the press conference, quite like him, has previously stated police would never give up looking for Miss Murphy. Well, you know, and I think the Australian police, from what I've seen of other cases, they don't give up, do they? And sometimes it takes a long, long time to find these poor women or men that are disposed of in the bush. But lots of times they've found people, you know, much, maybe even years later. So I do think they keep looking. And then, of course, Patrick. So Mr. Hart or Mark said, I want to assure those in the Ballarat community that police remain focused on doing everything we can to return Samantha to her family. And this comes as, so he's been also charged. So this was something that was a bit annoying because he's now been hit with new charges, Patrick has, in relation to a drug and alcohol fueled bender last year. But he never faced any charges for that. Why not? He's received charges now, but when this happened last year on October the 1st, he didn't receive any charges. Why not? You know, I feel like this boy, he's just got away with things all his life. He's living on his father's reputation. His father was briefly an NFL player. And from what I can gather, what people have told me, my chatters, from, you know, how they're revered, you know, even though he was only briefly in the NFL, they're sort of revered like gods. I think he's got away with murder. That's a small community and probably, you know, why was he not charged in October? Anyway, hasn't entered a plea for them either. Okay, so that was the link that I was sent, and that was the link I was going to report on today. And then, as I say, now we've got all this new information coming through. Not only the new search, but that they've actually found items. So let's see if we can find anything different at all, apart from the phone. Let's see, some items. So on this Yahoo article that I'm looking at, it does say items of interest. We've only seen about the phone so far. So the location of where the phone was found was south of Bunyinyong. But then it does say again, detectives from the missing persons squad have located some items. So it's suggesting that there's more than one item. The area has been cordoned off and these items will now be forensically tested. At this stage, we're not providing further information until that testing has been completed. And further information will be provided when we're in a position to do so. And the police are asking that members of the public do not attend the search at this time. So they cordoned it all off. Of course, the public has helped a lot to search for Samantha, but they're being told now not to join in the. Yeah, let the police do it now. Just let the police do it. Now, let's see if I can find any other videos about it. Yep, here's one. Let's have a look. It's so weird because I just felt so excited, and then it's like, oh God, they're going to find her. But of course, she is dead. But it's just so important that they find her body. It's so important. Not only for the family, but for the investigation as a whole. You know, the more information they've got finding her phone, if they can find her remains, it will give more sort of weight to the actual case against Patrick.
Searching an area near Ballarat as part of their investigation into the disappearance of Samantha Murphy. Reporter Danny Tran joins us now with the latest. Hi there, Danny. What is the latest from police?
Kath, detectives have today renewed their search for missing Ballarat woman Samantha Murphy. They're looking in a targeted area of Ballarat, but it's unclear where that is. Now, they tell us that the family is aware of the search and they're asking the public not to join in at this time. But we do know that previous searches have included cadaver dogs from New South Wales and the Missing Persons Squad.
And Danny, can you take us through just how long police have been searching for Samantha Murphy?
It has been quite some time. So Samantha Murphy first went missing in early February. She was last seen leaving her home at Ballarat East on the 4th of February. She was going for a run. She clearly vanished and never returned. Now, police are alleging that she was killed on the day she disappeared, and it was done so in a, quote, deliberate act in the Ballarat suburb of Mount Clear. At the time, Samantha Murphy was one of 3 women from Ballarat who was allegedly killed by men, and it's led to candlelight vigils across the nation, but also this conversation that we're having now around gendered violence.
Yeah, so the one positive thing that has come out of Samantha's tragic murder is there's been a lot of whether it'll actually lead to any real changes. You know, whenever these crimes are committed against women, and there were 3 altogether in the Ballarat area, in a place where there were no murders last year. So Ballarat, no murders whatsoever last year, and this year, before even the end of May, or the end of April, before even the end of March, there had been 3 murders and of women. So it caught, well, allegedly. So it caused this, there's a massive sort of demonstrations, etc., and just generally a massive conversation, in Australia about gender violence, etc. So that's never a bad thing, if you like, that these things come to, are talked about, discussed, new laws maybe come out of these type of things. It's just hopefully something positive. You always have to you can't change what's happened, but if you can find some positivity out of it, that's one thing, I suppose.
And Danny, what can you tell us about the man accused of killing Ms. Murphy?
So about a month after Samantha Murphy went missing, police arrested and charged Patrick Stevenson with murder. We know he's 22 years old, the son of former AFL footballer Oren Stevenson. Now, he's been in custody since he was arrested. He'll return to court in August and hasn't been required to enter a plea to the murder charge.
Okay, so hi, Sarah. I can't remember if I said hello to Joanne or not. So hello again, Joanne, just in case I didn't say hello to you. Okay, now let's see if we can find any more. Oh, let's see. Looking for YouTube videos, like the news. There's other news channels, isn't there, that I'd like to have a look for. So we've watched that. We haven't watched.
Good afternoon. We start with a developing story out of Victoria, where a fresh search for missing mum Samantha Murphy has uncovered key items of interest, including what's believed to be a phone. Laura Turner joins us live from that search area. Laura, good afternoon. The Missing Persons Squad are now involved. I'm hearing we've actually just lost Laura, unfortunately. We'll take you to the pictures, though, because we want to show you this search area that is really quite extraordinary this afternoon. We know that police have been there since around 11 a.m. this morning. It's an area not far out of the town of Ballarat, and there is a moment in this vision.
Yeah, so they said it's not far from Ballarat.
It is really quite extraordinary when police stumble across that item there that's quite shiny on the edge of the dam there, and what we believe, or what we're hearing reports, is a mobile phone. And then there is the celebration from police. Laura Turner joins us now. Apologies for our communications breakdown that we've had with her, but she's back now. Laura, take us through what you've seen this afternoon, because it is really quite extraordinary.
It is, Davina, and as you just mentioned, that jubilation we saw from police alongside a dam here just south of Buninyong was quite a moment. Police sniffer dogs have been here all day, and a few hours ago we actually saw one of the dogs uncover in the mud on the side of the dam just behind me here.
Oh, you knew a dog would be behind here. Oh, so that's a bit of news that we hadn't heard before. So a dog uncovered it in the mud on the edge of. I reckon that phone had been thrown in that dam, and for whatever reason, maybe if it's been drier weather or the water's receded, it's ended up stuck in the mud on the side, and a dog has uncovered it. I wonder if it was one of those dogs. They said they were bringing in those dogs that can detect like SIM cards and electronic apparatus. I mean, it's fascinating, isn't it? I'll tell you what, I just want to, I hope that twonk, that Patrick, they'll go and see him, I presume, and tell him that they found all these things, whatever it is they found. It'd just be great to see his face, because now he won't be so clever now, will he? Won't be so leery now, or so cocky. Larry is a Manchester word for cocky. Imagine his face. Oh God, I'd love to be a fly on the wall when the police are in there telling him that they found these things. That'll shake his bloody cockiness.
Appeared to be a mobile phone, and on closer inspection of the images we could see from the Channel 9 helicopter, it appears that is a mobile phone tucked inside a black wallet. You can actually see there's
Did you know that
What?
you can change your animal's feelings relatively easily? If you want to have a mind
D cards, there appears to be what are credit cards inside that wallet as well. So this could well be an enormously big, significant development in the case of missing Ballarat mother Samantha Murphy. We have also had an excavator here, which is going at the moment, removing the scrub alongside the road, because there is a theory that those responsible for Samantha Murphy's alleged murder may have actually driven along here and thrown her belongings from a vehicle, and that's what's had them end up in this dam here, if in fact they do belong to her. We've also had police officers with metal detectors going through the water here as well to see if there are other items. Police have confirmed there are items of interest, so
well, that is clear. I mean, you can clearly see it, even from our perspective. You can clearly see that it is a phone. So they're going to cordon off that area now, and it says they've found more than one item. So it's very, it feels positive. Now that doesn't mean to say that necessarily Samantha is in that area, but it gives them more leverage, doesn't it, against Patrick? Surely the more information they find, the more he's going to crumble.
Not just what appears to be that phone, but other items that have been found. We spoke with a criminologist a short time ago about the significance of this.
Now what will happen is they will determine obviously who that phone belongs to. It may not be forensically relevant at all. However, obviously that may be key to the investigations.
Davina, we know that this case has hinged on pings from mobile phone towers. The owner of the property here that this dam belongs to has said to me that we are in the line of sight with the Mount Buninyong mobile phone tower, and those towers have been crucial to tracking what happened to Samantha and that last ping from her phone. So again, that technology is crucial to this investigation. Of course, sadly, her body has never been found since she disappeared on February the 4th after she went running, but we do know the 22-year-old man, Patrick Orrin Stevenson, was charged with her murder. We understand, though, he's still not cooperating with this police investigation.
Okay, that vision that Laura mentioned then, we might try and see if we can play it for you now, because it's really quite extraordinary. It's important for viewers to see it, and because of the communication breakdown, we haven't been able to play it for you. Our directors might be able to give it to you now. It shows the police coming together after finding what this item that Laura had mentioned, this mobile phone, in the mud, and you will see them surround a sniffer dog, come together as police, dozens of officers there, all together hugging and high-fiving and celebrating. We have got an issue here, but we do have that vision. We will try and get it for you as soon as possible, because it is a moment that I think all of Australia will need to see. Okay, we're learning new tragic details this afternoon about a horror motorbike crash in Greenacre that claimed the lives of two friends.
We want to see the video. Sorry, and no offence, this would be very sad, but government under pressure, inflation. Oh, don't tell me, did they not actually... Looks like they didn't get their, let's see. Looks
Drinking
like
coffee every day didn't work for me, but I couldn't figure out why until I went from one
arguments inside the courthouse, the prosecution arguing that Trump's actions were a fraud
doesn't
on
look
the
as
American
if they
people.
got
Earlier
their
this morning, Todd Blanche,
things
Donald Trump's
sorted.
lawyer, argued that Michael Cohen, Donald Trump's former fixer and the star witness in this case.
Eric, how do you think Todd Blanche performed this morning?
He did an awesome job.
Anyway, looks like they didn't get their issues sorted, but we'll find that video again on another. There's plenty of other. I want to see the video again because it was a, you know, an incredible moment. Just shows you how it just shows you how important those dogs are, you know, because if that phone was under the mud, goodness me, you know, under the mud, and how would you find it? You know, you could have walked past it a million times, really, couldn't you? If you hadn't got that dog or a metal, of course, they had metal detectors as well. How would you, you know, God, it's so easy to miss is what I'm trying to say. Let's see if I can get the video up again. Video. Sorry, it's not coming up for me. Where's the video? Videos, come on. Right, here it is. Right, let's just watch this video one more time of them finding the phone.
They appeared to find what looks like a phone on the banks of a dam, which could represent a major breakthrough in the case. Police so far have been unable to find Samantha Murphy's phone. A short time after the...
Yeah, there it is, look, right there. Hi, Wesley. Let's just go back to the beginning of the video again. I would have liked to have seen the dog. I would have liked to have seen the dog finding it.
Phone on the banks of a dam, which could represent a major breakthrough in the case. Police so far have been unable to find
there's the dog.
Murphy's phone in the case.
Is this the dog? Oh, is this the good boy? Is this a good boy? Oh, look, I've got a dog behind me here. I've got Riley behind me. Can you see him? You know, what is it about dogs? You know, you can't, they improve our life so much. Where's my dog? Can you see him? Look, he's asleep here on the chair next to me. There's Riley. Oh, good boy, good boy. That's one of your relatives that found that phone. So good. Do you know, it's like, there he is, the dog that found it, I presume. I would have liked to have seen him sniff it out.
Police so far have been unable to find Samantha Murphy's phone. A short time after the item is found, crews are called over and there appears to be some celebration, hugging, shaking of hands, pats on backs. Up until now, it has been an item that police have been really scouring the area for. We haven't had an official update from police, but since then an evidence marker has been put down. And police appear to be using a metal detector.
I bet that dog gets a few nice treats tonight. They get a big steak God, you know, it's just it is nice. It is a little bit uplifting, you know, at least. And you know, when seeing these police, you can see they're genuinely happy. You know, this is their, you know, they spend a lot of time searching, don't they? Not only in the Samantha Murphy case, but in any case, the missing persons unit, and probably at least 80% even maybe of the work that they do is painstaking and has no results. So to get a result like that, it must feel fantastic, you know, because that's why, and that reminds them why they do it. It's like any job. It's like being a YouTuber sometimes, you know, it can get depressing and you think, oh God, you know, and then I get a lovely email from someone or a nice message from someone or a comment, thank you, you know, and don't know what to do. Oh, I know I've had some, I must read them all. I must have a sort of Vicky Marie Charles Appreciation Fest one day, just so, because that then is why you keep going, because you do get fed up sometimes, especially when you're dealing with true crime, or if you get trolled or this, that or the other. Anybody who's watching this who is a YouTuber will know exactly what I mean. And then you get, you know, somebody says something really nice, or get nice email, or you get some appreciation from your chatters or whatever, and you think, yeah, this is why I'm doing it, this is why I'm doing this channel. And this is similar but different, you know, obviously it's a whole different job, but it must feel similar. There must be times when they think, oh God, you know, after a month of searching and finding nothing, they must think, God, you know, but they have to keep going, and then they get a result like this, and then they know why they do the job. Then they know why they do the job. And I bet that dog is tucking into a nice steak as we speak.
Around the water.
Okay, and then can you just take us back through how long police have been searching for Samantha Murphy?
It has been quite a serious and long amount of time. The missing 51-year-old mother of three was last seen at her Ballarat East home back in February, and she vanished after going for a run. Now, police are alleging that she was killed on the day that she vanished, and it was done in a quite deliberate act in the suburb of Mount Clear. Now, 22-year-old Patrick Stevenson has been charged with her murder. He's the son of former AFL footballer Oren Stevenson. He's in custody at the moment. He hasn't had to answer a plea to the murder charge and will return to court in August.
Okay, well, so that's what I wanted to tell you about. I'm sure more details will come out as the day goes on. You know, there'll be much more details. And possibly tonight as far as Spain is concerned, which will be the morning in Australia, there may well be a press conference talking about what they've found. Yeah, Wesley, I'm the real Vicky Marie, not AI. No, not AI. Sometimes if I was AI, I wouldn't make any mistakes, would I? You know that it's yeah, I'm definitely not AI. Oh, it worries me, that AI. But anyway, never mind. We won't get into that now. So I'm going to have to love you and leave you shortly because I have some classes. So for those of you who don't know, because I always have to remember there may be people watching who don't know, I do teach Spanish. I should put my my Spanish advert on, but I don't know how to do that. Oh yeah, have a good day at work, Tracy. So I do teach Spanish, so I've got some classes, but I will be back later. I'll be back anyway later, because even if there's no more new news from this, because I was planning to do a live anyway after I finish classes, sort of round about lunchtime, about some UK news, because, you know, there've been things going on there. Unfortunately, 2 women were stabbed on the beach, and one of them has died. So I want to report on that. Yeah, so I will be back definitely later, and I will see you then. I'll try my best to get a notification out with as much notice as possible. But in the meantime, prayers that they find Samantha now. And, you know, some good news. It is good news, even though, as I say, it's sad, of course. But, you know, Samantha's not coming back. But if they manage to pin this guy down and actually get these charges to stick and get him put away for as long as possible, put as much pressure on him as possible, that's got to be a good thing. So remember to live and love wisely and carefully. I'll see you really soon, as always, in the next video. I'm going to put my, don't forget please to like, you know, put your fingerprint on the like button. Remember the thumbs up, that's really important, and that's a free way you can help my channel. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel, and with your help I'll be able to do that. And a special thank you to my members. Remember, Thursday night is members only live. And a special thanks to anyone who sent me a super chat, bought me a Ko-fi, or PayPal me. Thank you so much. Till I see you again, may your God always, or always go with you. Bye.